look at me. One eye is the eye of glass, and the other one is a good eye. If you can tell me which one is the glass eye, I'll give you, just for the kicks, I'll give you $1,000 as a loan. The man looks at him and he says, the left eye is the glass of eye. I mean, the eye of glass. Yeah, you got it. Here's a check of $1,000. Then he says, let me ask you something. Is it really showing, or you just took a wild guess? He says, I'll tell you, the left eye looked so human. Anyway, Seder night. And I want you to know something very deep. What is the first sign if you are standing tall? That you make everybody else stand tall also. If you're just tall because you're 6'4", and I'm 5'1", I'll still be 5'1", and you'll be 6'7". But if I'm standing tall before God, I have the power to make everybody else stand tall too. I was talking a lot of times, there are meetings about homeless people and about poor people, and they say we got to get them shelter, food. And I had the privilege of saying something. I said, this is not all they need. What we have to do for them to stand tall again. Because they're so broken and they're so sad. And Seder night, I open the door and I say, anybody hungry? Anybody broken? Anybody sad? Anybody needs a good friend? Please come into my house. And I want you to know something very, very awesome deep. According to us, Abraham entered the covenant with God 2 days before Passover. And Pesach was the third day. And if you remember, on the third day, which was the first day of Pesach, he was really in pain, and he was sitting at the gates of his tent, and it was so hot that there were no poor people coming and going. But then God saw he wants so much to do something, so the 3 angels came. I'm sure you remember the story. It's right in Genesis. They looked at him like pagans, and he ran and he greeted them, and he turned over the whole house just to greet them. And so everybody's asking, he did this before he entered the covenant with God. In what way did it change now? And the answer is very simple. I can make a covenant with someone who's my equal. I cannot make a covenant, as much as I love dogs, I cannot make a covenant with a dog. It's not my equal. You know what it means to make a covenant with God? That God lifted us up to be so tall that we are, humanly speaking, a little bit equal to God. So suddenly you see, before Abraham was feeding the poor, but he didn't lift them up that tall. After he entered the covenant with God, he learned the secret how to make people stand tall again. This time he saw 3 poor people, and you remember the Talmud says they were bowing down to the dust on their feet. You know what that means? That the dust was higher than they. Never, they were so small in their own eyes, they were so low, below sea level, that they were bowing down before dust. Abraham lifted them up. And you know how you lift people up? Just for giving them so much honor, for showing them so much love. So this is the beginning of the Seder, because we celebrate our exodus from Egypt by inviting all the broken people of the world, all the sad people of the world. But again, if I may have the privilege, I don't know, some of you hopefully are sitting by the Seder Saturday night and Sunday night, and I'm telling you, friends, I hope you're not sitting by the Seder and you think that the celebration is chicken soup and matzah. Unless, because then you treat it like slaves. You know, a slave is asking, when do I get my hot soup? I want you to know tonight the light which is shining into our hearts is from such a high place in heaven. It is from the highest, highest, highest place in heaven. And what is shining into us, really getting us out from all our little Egypts or big Egypts, from all our slavery to so many things. You know, a lot of women are slaves to their husbands. A husband is a slave to his wife. Children are slaves to their parents. The whole world is one slave on top of the other slave. Tonight, tonight is the night, friends. And maybe some of you don't know exactly the melody. Let me give it over to you as much as it is a simple melody. It goes like this. Holach mo anyo, tiacholo, havosono, pearo de mitzroyu. Kol yefin, yesev yechol, kol yitzrich, yesev yivsa, hoshato avdei, hoshato hoko, leshon habo bar Yisroel, hoshato avdei, leshon habo, b'nei. And they're not children asking us the deepest questions in the world. I want you to know, holy rabbis teach us the greatest, deepest Kabbalists that there are a few questions in the world. There's a question which has an answer. You can ask and you'll be answered. Then there are questions which really have no answer, but you can ask. But then there are questions which have no answer, and you're not even permitted to ask, because this is so delicate. This is so deep. Deepest depths of life, deepest depths of God, deepest depths of everything in the world. So we adults, so to speak, we're only permitted to ask questions which we are permitted to ask. But Satan and I, when all the gates of heaven are open, when we are so close to God, then our children asking God all the questions which have no answer, yet you're not even permitted to ask. But they're asking it because your heart is to be so pure, to have the audacity to ask those questions. And again, I wish we would have all night, but let me just tell you, then we parents answer our children. We tell them the whole story of Exodus, and we really don't answer our children's questions. Only after we eat, we open the door for Elijah the prophet, and we know Elijah the prophet, when he comes to redeem the world, to tell us that the Messiah is coming, that the redemption of the world is at hand, he will answer all the questions, and maybe even deeper when he comes. There'll be no more questions, because it'll be so beautiful. And join me, I want to sing Eliyahu Novi, let him come, let him come. And friends, you know, Eliyahu Novi not only comes to all of Israel, Eliyahu Novi whenever you're sad, whenever you're broken, and he comes to help you. Sometimes he might look like a good friend, sometimes he might be a drunkard on the street, because Elijah the prophet has many forms and many ways of showing himself. Join me. Eliyahu Novi, Eliyahu Tishbi, Eliyahu Angilodi, Eliyahu Angilodi, Lirarabla, Haladadidadala, Haladidada, Haladadidahidida, And my beautiful friends, I'm sure I don't have to tell you, but you know what really hurts me? Sometimes people were sitting by the Seder, and it comes time to eat matzah, then they're sitting there chewing the matzah, talking to each other, telling each other stupid jokes, and chewing the matzah, and talking about the matzah, if it tastes good or not so good. Last year it tasted better. Oh, 2 years ago. You know, friends, matzah, the downfall of the world was that we ate the tree of knowledge. Knowledge said enough, smells with death. You know what knowledge is? I know everything, but I didn't do anything about it. Take the world. Don't they know they shouldn't kill each other? Don't they know they shouldn't hate each other? So therefore, so they have meetings, another meeting, another book, and I'm just planning on 3 volumes on peace. So what? I saw this cartoon, a poor man knocks on the door of a professor. He says, I'm dying from hunger, please help me. The professor slams the door in his face, says, how dare you interrupting me? I'm writing a book on charity.
Shlomo, would you play that beautiful song, Return Again?
Yeah. So I just want to tell them, when you eat the matzah, it's food from the tree of life. Please, eat it with all your heart. It's the strongest vitamin pill you can get until next year.
And just in line with that, Shlomo, the whole idea of gratitude and joy. I mean, if you'll also, after the song, just talk about what Passover means for our non-Jewish brothers and sisters throughout the planet. Because
Let me tell you
really
something.
for what we do for ourselves is for everyone.
I hope it's clear to all our friends that when we walked out of Egypt, it was not just the Jewish slaves walked out. All the slaves walked out. All the slaves. And you see, if you know the Bible a little bit, that 3 days later Pharaoh got crazy and he wanted to get them back because the whole economy in Egypt was based on having slaves. They were left without slaves. They didn't know what to do with themselves. And I want you to know something even deeper. According to our deep Kabbalists, it's not because nature's becoming free in springtime that also we human beings becoming free. It's the other way around. Because this is time for us humans to become free, that nature follows us. You know, nature is not our master. We are the masters of nature. And any human being in the world, Pesach is the time to become a servant of God, to stand tall again. You see, the sad thing is the world thinks, the slave thinks, freedom means I can do what I want to. This is not what we are talking about. Freedom is to be free enough really to receive all the light from heaven. Free enough, literally to live up to that what my own soul is telling me all the time. Most of us are so disconnected from our insides. Pesach is when I reconnect myself. I want to sing with you this song. It's my melody, but actually the words are from our friend Ronnie Kahn. And
we'll send him a copy.
We'll send him a copy. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn again. La 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 la. Let me sing in Hebrew one time. It says, return to the Holy Land, Master of the world. Take us back to the Holy Temple where we can serve you with all our hearts. I will hold over shade,